model. Then we covered topics like tuple, attribute, domain, then cardinality of a relation, and degree of a relation. So moving forward, we continue the previous topic which we covered yesterday, that was relation. Because in yesterday's topic we were talking about relational data model. So here when we talk about a relation means about a table. So in today's class, what we are going to cover, about the characteristics of a relation. If we talk about the characteristics of a relation, what are the different characteristics of a relation? Though we have covered yesterday the topic, what do we mean by a relation or what do we mean by a table? We can interchangeably call relation as a table. Either we say table or a relation is the same thing. Now we need to discuss or we have to discuss about the characteristics of a relation. Relation means here R. I'm writing here R for the term relation. So very first thing which we need to cover here will be what are the different characteristics that a relation has or a relation must have. What I'm saying you, we have to cover here or we will be covering here what are the different characteristics of a relation. Means what are the characteristics that every relation must maintain or must have. Moving forward, what we will cover here, what do we mean by relational data? Yesterday we covered relational data model, but today we need to talk about what is relational database. So when we will talk about relational database, we will first cover what is database and then we will cover about relational database because relation we have covered yesterday. After this, moving forward, what we will cover the topics are keys of a relation. If we say key or keys, both are fine. Because when we will talk about a relation or when we will talk about the relations, means more than one relation, means more than one tables. In that case, we will say database and we will talk about key or keys of a relation. So what keys we are going to cover are, first one will be primary key. After this, candidate key. Then we will cover alternate key. Then we will cover foreign key. Super key. And it's a part minimal super key. Then we will cover composite key and likewise many more. So first we will understand what is a key for a relation. And when we will talk about key or keys for a relation or relations, then we will cover different keys that are there for a relation or relations. Those are primary key, candidate key, alternate key, foreign key, super key, composite key. And the last topic for today's session, which we covered, And the last topic for today's session, which we will cover, will be integrity constraints. I think the topics which are written at the bottom of the whiteboard is visible to you. The last topic which we will cover here will be integrity constraints. So here what we will cover, first we will cover what do we mean by a constraint. Here we will cover first what do we mean by the term constraint, then we will talk about the integrity constraints, and the various integrity constraints which we will cover are unique constraint, then primary constraint, check, check constraint, then default, and last one will be referential constraint. Let me tell you once more, the topics which we will cover in today's session are as follows. First of all, yesterday we talked about a relation. A relation is an organization of rows and columns. One more definition today I am giving you. A relation is a collection of tuples, because when there will be tuples, that means there will be attributes also. So what are the different characteristics of a relation? We are going to cover today, very first topic. Then we will talk about the relational database. What is a relational database? Before that, we will cover first what do we mean by a database, or what do we understand by a database. Then we will talk about relational database. Then, if we talk about a relation or relations, there will be some keys, and those keys will be primary key, candidate key, alternate key, foreign key, super key, composite key, and many more there are. Then we will talk about the integrity constraints. That will be the last topic for today's session. If we talk about integrity constraints, first we will talk about the constraint. Constraint means set of rules. Then we will talk about the different constraints that will be used in a program: unique, primary, check, default, and referential constraints. So I'm erasing. If you want to take a screenshot of the topics to be covered, you can take it. Then we will move forward. Yes, I think you have taken the screenshot or have noted down the topics to be covered. Now let's talk about topics one by one. Up to now there will be no issue to any students, because we have talked about the topics to be covered. We haven't covered any topic here. We have only talked about the topics to be covered. So very first topic for today's session: characteristics of a relation. Relation means so what are the different characteristics of a relation? If we know this term, we can tell easily that what are the different characteristics of a relation in a quick manner. We will talk about 5 to 6 characteristics here of a relation, but first we need to understand, once we need to call it, revise it, what is a relation. Suppose I told you yesterday an organization of rows and columns. And I talked about one more thing, components, if you remember. The very first component was name. Every relation has a name. If we talk about a relation, every relation has a name. Very first component. Second component was tuple. Third component was attribute. Fourth component was degree. And fifth component was cardinality. Now, if you know these components, you can easily answer what are the different characteristics of a relation. I'm telling once more, listen carefully. If you have the idea what are the different components in a relation, you can answer the characteristics very easily. Suppose you are in a class. Can there be two person or two students with the same name? I think there will be no student with the same name, exact same name. And if there persists more than one student with the same name, we give some extra word for the differentiation, the names of the students. In the same manner, when we talk about a database, which is a collection of relations, when we talk about a database, which is a collection of relations, in a database, each and every relation must have a unique name or distinct name. So the very first characteristics, I'm telling you very first characteristics, when we talk about the name of a relation, each and every relation in a database has a distinct or unique name. Distinct or unique name. No two relations in a database have the same name. The very first thing, whenever we talk about or when we will talk about a database, which is a collection of relations, apart from relations, views and indexes or indices. Because you don't know the term views and indexes, I'm not going to tell about them. But whenever we talk about a database, which is a collection of relations, views and index. When we talk about a database, which is a collection of relations, means tables, views and indexes. I am saying you, when there are more than one relation in a database, no two relations or no two tables can have the same name. So very first characteristics of a table or relation is that each and every relation has a distinct or unique name, but a relation must have a name. I told you yesterday that every relation has a name. So very first characteristics, each and every relation has a distinct or unique name. Now, let's move for the second characteristics of a relation. If we talk about a relation, the order of the tuples, no order sensitive. If we talk about the second characteristics of a relation, that means sensitive. The word sensitive you all know. If we talk about a relation, there are 10 tuples, there are 10 rows. There is no fixed order. If you want to write any relation first, then later on, let's take the example of yesterday's relation. There was a EMP underscore code, name and year, experience. If we talk about, we write the third tuple first one tuple on the place of third. There is no issue at all. Why there is no issue at all? Because we say that no order sensitive. When we talk about a relation, we can write any tuples in any order. No relation, no order sensitive means the tuples can be written in any order, in any manner. There is no issue with it. So, the second characteristic of a relation, the second characteristic of a relation is that no order sensitive. Means the tuples of a relation, the rows of a relation, the records of a relation can be maintained in any order. Okay, so this was the second characteristic of a relation. Now move for the third characteristic. Yes, if we talk about yesterday's relation which we discussed on the whiteboard, there was a table. The first attribute means first field was emp underscore code. The second attribute was name and the third attribute was year. Now it totally depends upon the developer, the one who developed the software, in which order he or she wants to put the attributes. There is no issue with it. Telling you once more. Suppose there was an attribute emp underscore code, then name, then year. Now there are only 3 attributes. If suppose there are 10 attributes, 20 attributes in a relation, the order of the attributes doesn't matter. Means the attributes can be written in any order. So the order of the attributes is also not sensitive. Means attributes can be written in any order. Depends upon the developer who developed the relation or a database. Attributes can be written in any order. Suppose I want to write year here and name after it, no issue with it. But yes, it totally depends upon the developer who develops a table or a relation or a database, how he wants to put the attributes for his convenience. Okay, if we talk about the next attribute, next characteristics of a relation, suppose there is a relation, there is a table here. EMP code is 1, 2, 3. Here name is Ram. Here name is Mohan. Here name is Sohan. Experience 2 years, 3 years and 5 years. Here we have this relation. Now suppose, can we have more than one value for an attribute? Mohan, Suresh. So my point is here, there cannot be more than one value for an attribute. What is my point? Please try to understand. There cannot be more than one value for an attribute. Here the attribute is name, and in this tuple we are having more than one value. So what is my point? For an attribute there cannot be more than one values. For an attribute or for a column there cannot be more than one value, or we can say there must be one and only one value. So we can have only one value for an attribute. Here we can have Ram, not more than one value. Here we can have Mohan, not more than one value. Here we can have Sohan, not more than one value. Similarly for year and EMP. So the 4 characteristic of a relation was that an attribute must have one and only one value. Okay, yes. So if we talk about the next point, a relation must have unique tuples. Listen carefully. A relation must have, it is compulsory, a relation must have unique tuples. Means in a relation, no two tuples can have the exact value like this. 3, so 1, 5. So here what we can see there, for this relation employee, this particular EMP code 3 is 2 times its value, all values, means all these two tuples have the same value. So what I'm saying you, it is not possible for a relation to have two tuples having same value, exact same value. So the characteristic, fifth characteristic is no two tuples can have same values. So these are the characteristics of a relation. What is relation? As I told you yesterday, an organization, an organized way of rows and columns, or what we can say, a relation. A relation is a collection of tuples. Collection of tuples. Now, when we talk about the various components, name, every relation must have a name, but its characteristics is that each and every relation in a database must have distinct or unique name. So very first characteristic. If we talk about the second characteristic, that is the order of the tuples is not sensitive. No order sensitive means the tuples can be written in any order. If we talk about the third characteristic, yes, attributes can be written in any order, but it all depends upon the developer who develop it. Okay. Next point, that for a particular attribute there must be only one value. There must be only one value, not more than one value. You might have not seen anywhere in your life that a relation, a table has more than one value for an attribute. Okay. If there is so, please remove it. It's wrong. So the fifth characteristic is that no two tuples in a relation can have the same value. If we talk about relation, suppose there is a relation for the board university, 10th board university. Can there be roll numbers of two persons same, their name and their details are same? No, it is not possible in any case. Is it possible for an organization to have the same EMP code, same name and its concurrent details exactly same? No, it is not possible. We say that each and every record or tuple is unique in a relation. So these are the 5 characteristics which we have covered. There are many more, but these are the basics, so we have covered it. Yes, please take the screenshot or write down it so we can move further. Any doubt you can tell me. If you have any doubt, you can speak out right now. Is there any doubt? No doubt, I think so. So let's cover the next point. I'm going to erase it. So we have covered the first topic. Yes. Moving forward. Next point. The relational database. This is the practical subject, let me tell you. If you talk about DBMS, RDBMS, we talk about software engineering. All these are the practical subjects, and these subjects play an important role for the development of a software. Relational database. Yes. So our next point to be covered is relational database. So very first thing is, what is database? So you can see here the term data, and we are talking about with respect to computers. Okay, so here I am going to give the definition of database with regards to the computer or software. So what is software? Sorry, what is database? A database is a set of data. Suppose you have lots of data, a set of data. Let's take an example of Jaipur city, or let's take an example of Rajasthan government. If you talk about in Rajasthan, there are approximately 7 to 6 crore population. So if the Rajasthan government want to store that data, because they have a set of data, they have a set of data, and they want to store it. They will store somewhere. They will store in the computer. For them, it will be a database. What is a database? A database is a set of data stored in a computer, to whom we call as server. If you talk about the only term, what do we mean by a database? What do we mean by a database? I told about an example. If we talk about the Jaipur city, if we talk about the Rajasthan University, if we talk about the Rajasthan Technical University, there are so many students who are studying under this university. So the university has a set of data, a lot of data, and they will store it somewhere, and they will store on a computer or on a server. So what is database? A database is a set of data, stored in a computer or stored on a server. So this is the definition of database. Now, if we talk about relational database, now if we need to talk about a relational database, in the simple term, what is relational database? Relational database means you are having one or more relations, means one or more tables, okay, and they are related with each other, and that thing is known as relational database. This is the logical term actually, okay, conceptual term. Let me tell you once more what is relational database. Actually, relational database or any database uses a structure. If we talk about a relational database or any database that uses a structure, suppose I am having 5 tables: first table, second table, third table, fourth table, fifth table. Suppose I am RTU, Rajasthan Technical University, and have developed a software. I am in this first relation, second relation, third relation, fourth relation, and fifth relation. This relation has the detail about the students. This relation has the details about the professors or persons who are working over there in the organization. These tables are this particular table is divided in more than one tables. Additional details. So all these tables are somewhere linked, and how it will be linked, it is decided by the DBA, database administrator or developer. So what I am trying to say, that if we talk about a relational database, so a relational database uses a structure. So the structure will be developed before the development of the software, when we design the database. So relational database uses a structure, and why we use this structure? We use this structure when we will develop the software, we will store some data, and later on we will access those data. What I'm saying, you try to understand. If we talk about a relational database, the relational database is prepared. Why? First, we will store the data. Yes, we have developed a structure. Now we will develop the software. So we will take the data from the user. Suppose you will enroll for the university. You will put some data over there. Now, later on, when your mark sheet will be generated, when your degree will be generated, then they will extract your data from that database. For that purpose, a relational database is required. So what is a relational database? A relational database uses a structure that allows us the one who has the rights to identify, or access data in a relation to relation. Means, what do we mean by this definition? Yeah, so here we have written two definitions. Very first definition, that is database. What is database? A set of data is stored on a computer. Now, suppose I have made a structure. Yes, I will be having 10 tables totally, and this table is linked with this table. This table is linked with this table. This table is linked with more than one tables. Yes, I have linked these tables. Now what I will do when I will develop the software, I will take data from the user. So user will make their entries like their personal details, educational details, their passport size photo and signature. So all those details will be stored on this computer. And later on, the person who is authorized will access those data from a table or table to table. So what I have written you, a relational database uses a structure that allows us, means the one who has the rights, to identify or access data in a relation to relation. Means from a relation, or if a relation is linked with another relation, then more than one relations. So these are the definition of database and relational database. Any query, you can speak out. As a enabled, the attendees may request to speak. Any query? I think no query. Yes. So 2 points which we have covered. First one was characteristics of a relation. There were 5 characteristics which we discussed, that each and every relation must have a distinct or unique name. Second, that no two tuples can have the same value or exact value. Third one was that an attribute must have one and only one value. Okay. The fourth one was that there is no order sensitive for the tuples, and similarly attributes can be written in any order, but it totally depends upon the developer or the DBA. And second one was relational database. A database is a set of data stored on a computer or in a computer, and then was a relational database. Now, next one. These terms we are discussing here in a theoretical manner, but trust me, all these topics later on you will understood that these are the practical terms and somewhere used in the development of the software. Yes. Now we will talk about a schema. Schema. What do you mean by the schema of a database? A schema means, see, when a software is developed, there is a software engineering, there is a chain. First of all, the requirement is taken from the user. Once the requirement is taken from the user and it is finalized, once the requirement is finalized, the analyst will analyze the data. Once the data is analyzed, then what is done? Then designing is done. Means database is designed, as well as the flow charts or the screenshots will be designed. When the database is designed, when we talk about the third step, that is database is designed, these steps comes there. Schema means overall structure of a database, means how many tables are there, how many views are there, how many indexes are there, and how those relations, means tables, views and indexes are related to each other. What I'm saying, you try to understand what is schema. Overall structure of a database. Overall structure of a database is known as the schema. And schema can be seen in the 3 ways. If we talk about the schema, when we talk about the schema, it can be categorized into 3 ways. If we talk about view level, if you have heard about it. Second one is conceptual level. And the last one is, you can add only view here, physical level. This is the order. I will tell you here. This is not the part of your course, but we have discussed here the term schema. So we can categorize the term schema in three parts. One is view level, conceptual, or you can say it logical level. Logical or conceptual is the same thing. And the last thing is physical level. When we talk about a schema, first let me explain you what do we mean by schema. If we talk about a schema, that means the overall structure of a database or the design of a database. Now listen. If you need to prepare the database of your house, then how will you prepare the database? If you need to prepare the schema of your house, then what things are there in my house? You will make a list, you will write each and every detail of room number 1, room number 2, dining halls detail, and every other detail. In the same manner, when we talk about a database, when we talk about the software, any software which runs, each and every software has a database. Means when a software is developed, a dynamic software is developed, there are more than one or more relations. There are one or more relations, and when we talk about a database, means a collection of one or more relations. So when we talk about a database, when a software is developed, first is design is developed. So what is a schema? A schema is the design of a database or overall structure of a database. On a single page, we write all the tables like this. This is the first table. What are the different? The name of this table is EMP. There is one more table. The name of this table is admin. There is one more table. Its name is student. Now here some attributes will be there. Here also there will be some attributes. Here also we will have some attributes. So each and every relation has some attributes, and we have the collection of the relations, and these relations might be interlinked with each other somewhere. So this design is developed on a paper first. See, directly we don't code on the computer. First we work on the papers. First we make the document or documentary, then we work accordingly so that later on there should not be any issue or problem. So when we talk about the schema, means the overall structure or overall design of a database, means how many tables are there, how many relations are there, and how they are interlinked with each other. We design on the paper, and that thing is known as the schema of that database. I think you all might have got it. Now, quickly I'm telling you what is the view level, conceptual or logical level, and physical. Okay. When we design the database, it has three perspectives. When the end user, means the one who uses the software, will see the software, he or she might think that okay, there are this and this and this and that tables. There might be this and that tables. Only these tables and these codes. This is the view level. For every individual user, view 1, user number 1, view 2, and so on, view n. So when we talk about the upper level, that is view level, every user might have a different view of the database. And when we talk about, this is the view of the end user regarding a software, end users. Now, there is a level that is logical level or conceptual level. There is one more level that is logical or conceptual. When we talk about this level, that is logical conceptual level, that means the database administrator's view or the developer's view regarding the database, means the tables like student ID, student name, there will be like this column, and this is the view of the user. And physically, when we talk about the data which is stored on the hard disk, like this. If we talk about this view, that is the physical level. Means there will be more one or more hard disks on which, or server, more than one server on which data is stored. So what is a schema? The overall design, the overall structure of a database. When we talk about the database, how many tables are there, how those tables will be interlinked. So it has three levels. If we talk about the schema, it can be categorized here in three levels or three ways. View level, the view of the end user, the perception of the end user regarding the schema or the database. Conceptual level or logical level, the level at which the DBA or a developer works for him. And the physical level, you all might have understood, where the data actually stored, that is the physical level. So this subtopic has been covered, that what we mean by the schema of a database. Means the overall design or overall structure of a database. Take the screenshot. So we move forward. Now there are two more topics, and those topics are very interesting. Please don't go anywhere. We are going to cover two most important topics, and in every examination, in every exam, whether it is placement or you are fighting for an interview for a company, or you are giving the examination of university or college exam, the questions will come definitely the topics which we are going to cover here next. Yes, I'm raising it. Yes. Yes. What is key? What is key or keys? And we will talk about the primary key here. PK is primary key. CK candidate key. Alternate key. Foreign key. Super key. Composite key. Let me tell you, because we have a short of time, so we are writing in short. First key is primary key. So if we talk about a relation, means if we talk about a table or more than one tables, when we talk about a relation or more than one relation, what is primary key? Each and every relation must have a primary key. Each and every relation must have a primary key, or each and every relation has a primary key. Why each and every relation has a primary key? So that we can uniquely identify the tuples. Suppose if you are giving the university examination, you need to find your details only, your details only of a particular student's detail. Then what will be there? You will enter a roll number, because roll number will be unique and not null. So very first thing regarding primary key. When someone asks you what do you mean by primary key? If someone asks you what do you mean by primary key, you need to answer simply unique plus not null. Have you seen ever that a particular student doesn't have any roll number? Each and every student has a roll number. Means the primary key's value cannot be null. If we talk about employee, every employee has a code, EMP code. There won't be any employer. There is no EMP code is assigned. And second thing, if we talk about the university, each and every student is given a roll number. We cannot have the blank value for a roll number. And at the same time, every roll number is unique. So if we need to frame the definition of primary key, what do we mean by primary key? A primary key is, see, now key means what? Key means an attribute. Key means an attribute. An attribute or attributes Please try to understand what I'm trying to say you. If you heard the term key, whenever you hear or heard the term key, that means an attribute, that means a field. If I am having a relation, student, roll number, name, department. If we talk about the relation student, this is the name of the relation. These are the attributes: roll number, name, and department. So what is primary key? A primary key is an attribute. Here, roll number is primary key because two persons can have the same name. Two students can have the same name. Two or more students can have the same department, that is mechanical engineering, computer science, IT. But roll number for each and every student will be unique. At the same time, there will be some value for the roll number. There cannot be null. That's why I have written the definition of primary key. Primary key means unique as well as not null. And what is primary key? A primary key is an attribute that uniquely identifies tuple in a relation. If I talk about roll number 1, only the details of roll number 1 will be there. If I talk about roll number 1000, only the details of roll number 1000 will be there. Means its tuple will be there, or its row will be there. So what is primary key? A primary key is an attribute. A primary key is an attribute, or sometimes a particular attribute is not able to identify the primary key, then we will take the combination of one or more attributes. What I'm saying you, if suppose there is a name, there is department, name, father name, and age. Suppose if we talk about this particular relation, here name attribute alone is not able to identify unique records, unique rows, or unique tuples. Then we will use the combination of name and father name. If name and father name alone uniquely identify the records, then there is more than one attribute used to identify the tuples. Then we can say that what is the definition of primary key? An attribute or combination of attributes used to uniquely identify tuples in a relation. What I'm saying you, when we talk about key means an attribute. As I told you, key means attribute or attributes. If a single attribute, if a single column is used to uniquely identify tuples in a relation, then that is the primary key. Or if a single attribute, if an alone attribute is not able to identify tuples, then we will use the combination of one or more attributes. So what is primary key? In simple terms, primary key means unique plus not null. Means the value of this attribute, means the value of the primary key attribute will be unique as well as not null. Means must have a value. There cannot be blank. Second thing, primary key can be a single attribute or more than one attribute. This is the definition of the primary key. Now next, move for the candidate key. Candidate key. Yes. If someone asks you, is primary key a candidate key? Yes, primary key is a candidate key. How? Let me tell you. What is candidate key? Candidate. Yeah, suppose I'm having a table, relation, roll number, name, F name, M name, that's it, and DPT. Now listen carefully. Here, only roll number can uniquely identify tuples. Yes or no? That means this is the primary key. Roll number is the primary key. Because this particular attribute can uniquely identify the tuples. Now, second point. If we use the combination of these two, if we use the combination of student name and father name together, if it can also serve as the primary key, if it can also uniquely identify the tuples in the relation, that means we have one more key combination which can identify the tuples in a relation. We can use the combination of these two, S name and M name, means student name and mother name. If we write some student, yes, tell me your name. My name is Rahul. Tell me your father's name. Manmohan. Yes, Rahul Manmohan. Yeah, so that is your details. If you talk about, yes, what is your name? Rahul. What is your mother name? Rita. If Rahul and mother's name uniquely identify the tuples, that means the combination of one or more attributes can uniquely identify. What is candidate key? A candidate key means if in a relation there are one or more combination of attributes that can serve as the primary key is known as the candidate key. Listen once more. Listen, please listen. If we talk about if there are one or more combinations, if there are one or more combinations of attributes, if there are one or more combination of attributes that serves as primary key called candidate key. Very easy. Listen once more. What do you mean by candidate key? If we have roll number can uniquely identify, yes, one attribute can uniquely identify the tuples. Yes, S name and F name together, if uniquely identifies all the tuples, it can also serve as the primary key. S name and M name together, if possible, uniquely identify the tuple, it can also serve as the primary key. So what I'm saying to you, if there are one or more combinations of attributes, if there are one or more combinations of attributes that can serve as the primary key is called the candidate key. Primary key is also the candidate key. Why? Because primary key is alone able to identify the tuples. So we can say that primary key is also a candidate key. Yes. I think it is clear to all of you. Yes. Now the third definition, that is alternate key. If in a relation, apart from primary key, if we leave the primary key, apart from primary key, if there are combinations of attributes which identify the unique tuples, is called the alternate key. So definition is a candidate key which is not primary key, which is not primary key. If someone asks you, because these definitions confuse sometimes, what is alternate key? A candidate key which is not primary key, because primary key is also a candidate key. So a candidate key means the combination of one or more attributes that serve as the primary key, but that is not the primary key, is called the alternate key. But when we talk about the candidate key, a primary key can be a candidate key, but an alternate cannot be a primary key. So what is the definition of alternate key? A candidate key which is not the primary key is called the alternate key. I think it is clear to all of you. Now the last topic for today's session. Time is over, I think so, but let's continue for next 10 minutes if you all are agree. Last topic for today's session, that is integrity constraints. We will not go in detail today. We will look for tomorrow if we have some time. Integrity constraints. Now, if you talk about the constraints, constraint means set of rules. Suppose when you are on the road, there are some rules for you. That if you are on bike, your speed must be up to 40, not more than 40. Yes, if you are going on bike, you must have a helmet. If you are in car, you must have a. If you are driving, if you must have a seat belt. So, in the same manner, when we talk about the database, when we talk about the relation in a database, each and every relation must have a set of rules. If we talk about the integrity constraints, each and every relation has some set of rules, because until and unless we don't have the set of rules, that means that there must not be more than one value for an attribute. There must not be two relations with the same values. There must not be two tuples with the same values. There must not be two relations with the same name. So what are these? These are some set of rules. If we want, the characteristics must be followed. If we want the characteristics which we have covered, if we talk about the keys which we have talked about, that must be followed, there are some set of rules, and those set of rules are known as the integrity constraint. So first integrity constraint is primary key, which we have covered. When you create a relation on a software like MySQL, SQL, DB2, or any other database, in every relation you give a primary key so that all the tuples of that relation have the different values. No two tuples in that relation has the same value or identical value. So this is the primary key which we have covered. Now we talk about the unique key. What is unique key? If we talk about unique constraint, this is the primary key constraint. Next one is unique constraint. Unique constraint means that for a particular attribute in different tuples, there must be unique values. Like here Ram, Mohan, but in some case we don't pass the value, it's okay. If we talk about primary key, what is the difference between primary key and unique? Primary key means unique plus not null. But here for unique, that for different tuples for a particular attribute, there must be a value, or if there is some value, that must be unique, or there must not be a value. If I talk about name, here name is Ram, here ID 1, 2, 3. Here there is nothing, no value, that means null, and here is so on. So here for different tuples for this particular attribute, the values are unique. But null is allowed. That means it is the unique constraint. Constraint means set of rules. We had applied the set of rules for this attribute, that the values for these attributes will be unique, but we can have null values. And for this, we cannot have null. We have to enter some value, and all the values must be unique. That means it is the primary key. So two constraints we have covered. First one is primary key. Primary key means unique plus not null. That means the values for a particular attribute, are unique, as well as we have to enter some value. There must not be a null. And we talk about unique constraint. For an attribute, there must be some value, and that value must be unique. And if you don't pass the value, there will be null. Okay. Now the third constraint is check. Suppose there is one more attribute age. Now I want to apply a check here, a constant is check. The student which has minimum is 18, minimum is 18 can apply for the first year for the admission in our college or in the university. See, what is the constraint? That constraint is here, this attribute age must be greater than or 18 equal value 18. If some students come, sir, I have the age 17 years. No, no, you are not allowed because we have a constraint that is that age must be equal or greater than 18. So this is the check constraint. There is one more constraint that is default constraint. Suppose if I don't pass the value for the age, default value will be 18. Suppose when I enter some data and I don't want to pass the value when there is age 18, then the default value automatically will become 18. So there is the fourth constant, that is default constraint. The fifth constant, that is referential constraint, which will be covered tomorrow because we have in tomorrow's session slot that topic. Device in quick manner. Primary key, not null plus unique, means for a particular attribute there must be value and those values must be unique. If you talk about unique constraint, for an attribute the values must be unique. No two rows have identical values for a particular attribute, and null is allowed. Third one is check constraint. If the check constraint is applied on a particular attribute, then we cannot have the value less than this. If we go for the default constraint, when we leave or don't want to enter the value and we want the default value to appear, then the value will appear. Any queries regarding today's session, you can ask in the chat box or you can speak up. Yes, guys. Any query, please ask. Students, if you have any query, please ask. If you don't have any query, that means either you know you have understood everything or you don't have understood anything.
Participants, if you have any query, please. Yes, participants, if you have any query, write in the chat box or raise your hand. Sir, I think no any
Okay.
query.
Thank you very much.
I think this is amazing session, sir. Now we will meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Sure, sir.
again. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, participants. Please be on time.